Hi, on Lex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Man, it's rainy out there. Well, I did get plenty of HP bullets made. Plenty might be pushing it. I don't know. I got a lot of HP bullets made, high-powered bullets. I assume these will do better. I think they make more. I think they do more damage, but they cause more wear on your weapon. But you know what? I think the more damage will be nice, right? Maybe we can go over here and grab a quest and see what happens. I don't have quite 300 bullets. I think it's like 276 or something like that, but I'm hoping that's enough. Why are you smelling the TV? Weird. Dog just ran over and started smelling my TV. And then laid down. Listen, somewhere over here I've got to take a right. Wonder why the side of that arch is busted out like that. Weird. I mean, I get like maybe they blew into buildings or something trying to get the undead, or like, you know, like this building here is all busted up and stuff, but who's hitting the side of that arch? Also, where did my quest giver guy go? I need you. Somewhere over here. I done drove too far, apparently. Okay. Alright, there he is. Man. Well, it's been another long week at work. It's been pretty crazy. Every week this month has just been a ton of work, which is good.
Damn, you
I
smell like the dead. You better have money.
I would like can I get a tier 4 because I feel weak. Yeah, give me a nice
Like you.
tier 4 clear the zombies. Let me see what you've got for sale too. Let's see. Anything I actually need? Think I need. I don't see anything I need. Anything I need? Oh look, he's selling an anvil. You got an anvil, buddy. $60,000 caps for this forgetting elixir. My 334 probably aren't, Oh, he's got the gyrocopter chassis schematic.
Be careful out there.
I ain't got no money, dude. I spend it all. That's all I gotta do quests. I don't remember what I spend it all on, but I spend it all on stuff. Whoa, bike. There it is. So we started Pathfinder this week, run by Dim. And it was about what we expected. You know, we're like, you know, fairly standard misrun game by Dim for sure. Uh, we so this time I said I just want to play one character, and usually they have me play two. And so the other guy, well, I was gonna play two, but then the second one was from a special book that we didn't have, and I didn't feel like getting an additional book. So I was like, I'll just play one character this time. I'll just play my favorite class, the fighter. Uh, and Oop. And so we get started, and I'm like, yeah, I think we should probably introduce our characters, and you know, I want to know, because he read the introduction to the game and was like, you're all from the same town, and I'm like, so we like friends? Have we done this kind of stuff together before, or you know? And so he was like, well, let me read this section in the game. I'm like, yeah, but it'd be nice to know if like why are our characters a group? You know, can you tell me that? I just okay, these bullets do seem pretty nice. I'd like to know, you know, so I know how my character is supposed to respond to these other people. Like, he's like, well, just let me read this thing. And I'm like, okay. And so he reads the thing, and it's, we have to go into we're doing the starter kit quest. So something has been eating barrels of fish. And so they want us to go see what's all up about it, so it doesn't start eating the sailors. I'm like, okay, that's nice and all, but that seems like a stretch. Like, fish being eaten in a warehouse probably aren't going to get to your sailors, but whatever, okay, you know, he didn't write it. It's a Pathfinder starter kit. Man, I should have switched these new bullets a long time ago. Wow. Might have made a lot of difference in my gameplay up to this point. Of course, we aren't going to really know until we get to some big zombies. But it's feeling pretty strong so far. I mean, that felt pretty strong. Oh. Jumpy boy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge difference. I was not expecting such a big difference. Well, dang. I should have switched over. It was only 2 additional lead per. 2 additional... No. Wow. It's... I can't even say it. It's 2 bullet tips. That's what I'm trying to say. It's 2 bullet tips instead of 1. And that's the only real change. But man, I feel like it's a lot more than 2 times the damage. So yeah, so he wouldn't let us introduce our characters. He wouldn't let us determine how our characters were in a group. And then he reads the little thing, and then he's like, and now it says to introduce your characters. And I'm like, okay. I don't know why we couldn't have done that before. I don't understand what difference that makes. Oh, I do. Can't innovate. Have to follow the book until you miss a part of the book, and then you do something totally off the wall. So we get started on the thing, and he immediately does one of the things I despise that he does, and that is he makes the bad guys invisible until he's ready to attack with them. And so they don't, it's not something we can detect. It's not like they're in the game invisible. They're just not visible on the map, and so even though they're like standing right there and we should be able to see them, they don't pop up until he wants us to start initiative. And I hate that because you can't do anything before they get to you. Every combat starts with the bad guys already touching us, basically. And it's not. Where did that guy go? There was a guy there. Did you break out a window? You did. You broke out windows. Okay. And it's super frustrating, right? I mean, I don't have a bow or anything yet, but man, can you imagine being a ranged fighter person, and then the DM only shows you the bad guys every time they're in melee range? Which is basically what he does. I don't think there's surprise rounds in Pathfinder. I think it's called flat-footed, and it's different than a surprise round, and so you're just flat-footed for a round, which means you take a 2 penalty to your armor class, I think. And so that's not so bad. That's not as bad as every million surprise round he does in D&D. And so we started out, I'm like, yep, this is how this goes, I know. Did I not turn off my email? Oh, I'd turn that mess off, I guess not. I just had to go ding ding. You know what I need is protection from vultures. That's what I need. Stupid vultures. Oh. Well, I managed to shoot the railing twice. And, so, the first thing that attacked us were these rats, right? And they start right next to us. And I'm like, ugh. Okay, you want to stop dancing back and forth? Oh my gosh. I can't shoot him. I can't shoot him. Every time I go to shoot him, he moves a little bit. Alright, well, I'll admit it. I missed twice, at least, on there, but a couple of those times. There we go. So then, we kill the rats, and I don't know who wrote the book, but the book is dumb, and our DM can't read it. On top of that, so Dim goes and he's like, how you gonna get down this, there's a slippery cliff, and I'm like, and it plunges into the darkness. I'm like, oh, well, you know what that means. Let me bring out my climbing kit, start pounding in pitons. Or pitons. Is it piton or piton? Can't remember. It's one of those words I have to look up, because I can never remember how it's pronounced. I think it's python. Piton? I don't know, something like that. Anyways, you know, the metal, I don't know, bolts, basically. You drive into the stone before you tie your ropes to them. And, so we get started on that, and then he goes, the cliff is only 10 feet. And I'm like, okay, I would not waste my time. Oh, he reads the thing after I start saying that I'm gonna pound in pythons. He's like, it says that you can wrap your rope around the numerous stalagmites and stalactites along the cliff's edge to climb down with. And I'm like, wait. I'm not gonna waste a piton. I'm gonna say piton. I'm not gonna waste a piton. If it's only 10 feet. Like, I'm not even gonna tie a rope up. It's 10 feet. I could just hop down a 10-foot drop like that. Must be shop class here. Can you imagine trying to... I guess they'd use some kind of cart, but can you imagine trying to carry these into the building and put them on tables? Ugh. So heavy. It was like, well, you'll have to roll a check. I'm like, it's 10 feet. I've jumped down 10 feet in real life. Like, I have to assume that my dude who gets bonuses on jumping because of his strength level could just drop down here, because it wouldn't actually be 10 feet. I'm not gonna leap from 10 feet down. I would get down and put my legs over the edge and push off, right? So we're only talking like a 6-7 foot drop, maybe. Which puts you under the 10 feet. That's usually the number for taking damage from a fall. So, really? So yes, so everybody else either climbs down or successfully jumps. But my guy, even though he passed the roll, he fell on his butt because he didn't take any damage. But that's what he gets for trying to jump down instead of using a rope. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's how it goes. That's how it goes with Dim as the DM. And then he does the thing that, dang it, where am I supposed to go? Then he does the thing that drives me absolutely insane. Oh, I guess we go down here, right? And that is, he moves our characters. I hate when he touches my character on the map, because it's always to move us into position to where he wants us to be for fights to start. Like you need to move our character to the next map section, that's fine. I understand that. But if we're already on the map, there's no reason for him to be touching my character and moving it around, because he almost always moves it to the wrong area. And he's always shuffling the order our characters are in and stuff like that. And it's just like, just keep your hands off our characters, man. I understand you're the DM and you're in charge of the game, but we get to choose where our characters go. You have to respond to whether or not they can go there. Not, let me rearrange your character into the proper order that I want them to be in so that when they get attacked, I'm hitting your healer first, right? None of that bullcrap. And so, and then half the time he's misread the, he's misread the book anyways. So, he moves us to the wrong spots. And so that's what he does. He takes our characters and he's like, so you get to the bottom of the cliff, and then he moves us. I move my character like one space forward at the bottom of the cliff that we just came down, which is clearly marked on the map as a cliff. Because there's some weird stuff along the wall, and it looks like eggs. And so I'm like, I think I want to check out these weird eggs on the map that he didn't describe to us. I just assumed because they're on the map that they might, and the map came with the book, that the eggs might mean something. Apparently they weren't eggs though, they were mushrooms, but they were different shapes and they clearly looked like they were broken open. So I don't know who designed that map that they were supposed to be mushrooms that made them look so much like broken open eggs. At worst, maybe they didn't look like eggs, but they look like broken open, like pumpkins. But clearly some of them were still closed and some of them were broken open. So I don't know. I don't know what was supposed to be happening there. That they were like that, but it was weird. And so anyways, he moved us all the way across that room to the next room and then starts reading off about the mushrooms that we could see, and I'm like, I don't where are they at? Because I don't know where those mushrooms are at. He's like, they're right in front of you. I'm like, okay, you put us in a room full of spider webs. I don't see any mushrooms in this room either. And he's like, hold on, give me a second. And so then he's like, yeah, that's what it says. There's mushrooms and so no, he moved us into the wrong room. He touched our characters. He pulled us from at the bottom of the cliff where we had placed our characters to the next room, which was full of spider webs. Didn't need to do it. Didn't need to touch our characters. Don't know why he's always touching our characters. He does it with the bad guys, too. He's always moving them. I don't understand why he's always moving them. I can understand that they're invisible and you need to make them visible, but I don't understand why everything's got to be shuffled around before combat starts. It drives me crazy how much he touches and moves the characters and the bad guys. And we're always like, put our guy back. Just, that's not where he was at. Put the bad guy back. Why did you move the bad guy? Bad guy doesn't suddenly get to move 3 spaces forward because it would put him in better position for combat to start. That's not where he was at when combat started. We've already rolled initiative. He doesn't suddenly get to move once we've started combat. What are you doing? So it happens a lot. Oh, look at these guys on the roof up here. Whoa. Oh, man. Rep. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, I should have reloaded faster. Those guys hit really hard. Alright, well, I go back and loot that, right? You put me on the ground? Yes, thank you. That's my truck. My bike's gotta be out this way somewhere. There it is. So yeah, it's super frustrating to me that he touches our guys. It just moves them around all the time, and he'll be like, "Oh, I think your guys were farther forward." Okay, well, we didn't move our guys farther forward. Or like he'll be like, we'll open the door, and be like, you know, grab our guys, and he'll put our guys in the room where we said we wanted to open the door. Who would do that? Who would be exploring a dungeon that's full of traps and monsters and just whip open the door and immediately rush all in? Nobody would do that. I don't understand why he doesn't let us look around first. Probably because when we look around, we can plan, and he doesn't want us to plan. He wants us dead. That's the way it feels. And then, so we... So then he's like, this giant spider is in this room, and it's coming for you for the next encounter, right? And he puts the spider right next to us. And I'm like, there's just no way I wouldn't see a giant... Like, if I enter a room as my guy was a guard, right? He deals with this kind of stuff. If I enter a room and it's full of giant spider webs, what am I going to think is in this room? I would assume a giant spider. Anyone would assume a giant spider. If I enter a room in real life and there's spider webs in that room, I'm going to be looking for a spider. I mean, that's how spider webs work. And so... yeah, no, it started 10 feet away from us because we obviously couldn't see the giant spider that was as big as a person coming down the spider web toward us until it got to us. Because we're that oblivious. Yeah. So yeah, so he moved all our guys and the spiders all to where he wanted the spider to be, and so then we kill the spider, and then we work our way a little deeper, and oh, and I hate when he does this too. We we often don't even get to talk about what's going on in the game because he has to blurt out what's there, and so he's like oh, this was funny. Okay. Before we got to that part, we'll see if I can. So so we go in this room, right? And I'm like, so how much spider webs are there? And he's like, everything is covered with spider webs. It would make it hard to move. And I'm like, okay. So one of the guys has a cantrip to make fire. I'm like, hey man, can you burn out some of these webs? And so then Dim is like, look, he could do that, but he would only be doing like one square at a time. I'm like, okay. And so then we fight the spider, and then after that, I'm like, okay, so what does it look like for us to get across this room? Because the map that we're looking at is covered in spider webs, and he's like, well, it's really thick, and you might be able to climb through it all, but it'd be really difficult. I'm like, okay, guy with the cantrip who can do fire, could you please burn away this web so we can get through then? I don't understand why you argued with me earlier about him burning away the web if we have to burn away the web to easily get through. Why would you even question that? I don't understand. Don't understand. Oh, shoot. Wait. This is where I wanted to go anyways, right? No, it's not. Dang it. So, yeah. And then... and then we start to move across the room, and he's like, because I'd asked what we could see, and he was just like, you see spiderweb covering everything, and he's like, are you guys sure you want to leave this room without searching first? And I'm like, okay, I guess we can look around. I guess I want to look around and see what's in the room, like I already said I wanted to do, but sure, we can, we can say the words, I want to search the room for treasure. Because apparently, I want to look around this room and see what there is. It doesn't count, I guess. And, so... So there's a little thing there, a dead, kobold. I'm like, oh, weird. And, because I missed where he said that, I missed him saying that oh god, I'm gonna be right down the stairs. This set of stairs. I missed him saying that stuff was missing. Because he mostly just talked about how the barrels of fish had been chewed into and fish was missing. So I totally missed where he said other things besides fish had gone missing. So then at that point, I asked about the hole in the wall that we had come through, because he said it looked like something had chewed through it. But then he changed it to it had been busted through. Okay. Let's try this again. Where'd that guy come from? Listen, I just want to loot this place, okay, guys? See, that's how it should have gone down last time. It didn't, though. It definitely didn't. So, So we get through there, and then I, you know, get a rehashing of what we had seen when we first entered. Because I'm pretty sure he just said that the barrels had been chewed open, and then we fought giant rats, and so I was expecting a bunch of giant rats. But then things changed, as they are wont to do when Dim is running the game. So then, I'm like, oh, okay, so we got, oh, hey, look at that, a ratchet. It's better than a wrench, right? And, I want buckshot. Alright. We are running out of space for things. Okay, and now it's nighttime, so, ooh. Tactical Assault Rifle Schematic. Wait, isn't that what I'm using? Weird, I didn't realize I didn't have a schematic for that. Huh. Was just found the one I got. Well, that's nice, because I've got a nice one. Alright. Now, where did I leave my bike? Over there. So, so then we proceed up the stairs. And he's like, and then you guys make it up the cliff into the next room. I'm like, you do realize those are like stairs, right? Like, you're looking at stairs. They're not cliffs. It's the same thing as that last room where you thought it was cliffs and then you moved to the bottom of the stairs. Those are stairs, man. Huh, I guess they are. Yeah. Yeah, they look like stairs. I wish you'd stop calling them cliffs. And so, at the top of the stairs is this wooden barricade thing, and I'm like, I don't know, it looks like there's some kind of wooden framework here, like a barricade or something. He's like, let me look. And he's like, oh yeah, it says right here, at the top of the stairs you find a wooden barricade across the side cavern. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, so guys, do we want to check out the side cavern, or do we want to go down the main? I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go look down the main cavern. I don't know how to get out of here. I am lost. And so I moved down the main cavern a couple of steps just to see how far it went. And I'm like, oh yeah, the main cavern continues on. He's like, and you hear skittering like something humanoid. I'm like, oh, that must be kobolds. I'm like, do you think this is like a passage they sealed off to stop the spider from getting in there? And then maybe the main path will just loop back around here? So we discussed a little bit, and somebody brought up that maybe it was sealed off so that you know, coming this way there might be fewer guards. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. We should probably try to tear this thing apart quietly. And so he reiterated that we were hearing clattering and skittering coming from the other side of this thing, right? So we quietly pull it apart. And you know what we saw on the other side? Nothing moving. Nothing was moving. So I don't even know why the book or he would describe it as us hearing something moving and skittering on the other side, because there wasn't anything there. I mean, there were bad guys there, but they weren't moving is the trick. So it was a lie on both the book's part and the DM's part. So then we get in that room, and he describes it, and there's like rotten, broken open wooden coffins, he says, all around the room. He kept calling everything tombs. I don't know what he's reading, but it's almost like he's looking at the map and reading the book and then screwing up all the words. I don't know what was happening while he was describing things to us this week, because it was crazy. So then So then, I'm like, yeah, I want to check out and see what's in those broken coffins, those rotten wooden coffins, and so he just ignores that I said that. Like, he doesn't even respond to me saying that, and then he goes on to describe this sarcophagus in the middle of the room, and so I'm like, well, I guess if we're not gonna get to check the coffins, I guess we should check the sarcophagus, maybe. And so then, oh, I see why he wouldn't respond to me checking the coffins, because when we opened the lid of the sarcophagus, it had a zombie inside, but that also released the 4 skeletons that were in the wooden coffins that I wanted to check. Yeah, see, that was the trick, is that there was stuff he didn't want us to see in the coffins, so that's why we didn't get to check the coffins. It's really shady. And so that was where we pretty much ended it, was fighting off the skeletons and stuff. Gameplays wise, because that's our first game of Pathfinder, it was okay. I feel like I probably like, I not probably, I definitely prefer 5th edition to Pathfinder. I feel like Pathfinder is, it's got a lot of math. Now, I'm not bad at math. So I'm not like, oh, math, I don't want to do math. But it's got a lot of unnecessary math, and everything is like this weird, how many different things can you add to the count to see what it actually goes to, and I don't appreciate all the little things you've got to add and subtract. 5th edition seems much more relaxed when it comes to that stuff. Yeah. Couldn't remember if that was food or not. It is not food. It is medicine that I don't ever use. Oh, I didn't get that water in there. And, I'm gonna have to start putting mods up in there, I think. I don't think we got any more room for mods. Oh. And, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's not as bad as... I don't think Starfinder was actually that bad. I just was really frustrated with my character not being able to do anything. I didn't try a thief this time like I did last time. So, things were definitely not as crazy. It's got some weird mechanics, though, involved in attacking. In 5th edition, I'm pretty sure I like it better in 5th edition. In 5th edition, things like double attack and triple attack are things you earn, and in Pathfinder, it's just a thing you start with. Everybody gets 3 actions. If you make 3 attacks on your turn, then each attack has less accuracy. And so, but you can still make those attacks, right? And so it's a little weird to me that it's not an earned thing. It's just, hey, I can do it. 'Cause to me the idea is that you can do the multiple attacks because you've gotten that much better at, you know, using your weapon. Whereas this is just like, I don't know, because we haven't played far enough, we haven't gone up a level, but I don't know if you get any better at those subtractions from your accuracy. Like, if that's a thing, then I'd probably feel better about it. But right now, everybody gets 3 attacks, you know, basically, if they're not moving on their turn. Unless you're a spellcaster, then you only get the 1... Most spells take 2 actions to cast, so... Oh, right, and then I need to read the map, so we got a map to go look at next time. Yeah, that's it, waste your bullets. So we got a map to go look at next time. And, you know, I'll need to wait for daylight, because I don't like traveling around in the dark. I don't know. I don't know there's much more to say to it. All the armor feels pretty much the same. Abilities are weird. Still getting used to that. Basically, I have Great Weapon Master. I will say, I do appreciate the addition of the weapon that I've got. Because I can use it as both two-handed and one-handed, and it's not a weapon that was available in 5th edition. And I don't think Dim realizes how powerful of a weapon I started with. Because my favorite weapon as a fighter is the greatsword, and a greatsword uses 2d6. And this is a 1d12 weapon if you use it two-handed, but you can also use it one-handed as a 1d8, which gives me some nice versatility that I did not have in 5th edition. So I can also swap out for using like a sword, or not a sword, a shield and things like that. So I carry a shield, but I don't use it unless I need it, and so that's a nice bump up to my AC when necessary. And I haven't really got into using shields yet, because that's a different thing in Pathfinder as well. You can use a shield to actually reduce the amount of damage you take, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, just there's lots of cool things gotta check out yet, but so far it's okay. I feel like 5th edition's a little more fluid, because there's less numbers to check as you're doing your combat. But yep, and then of course Dim will be Dim. Alright, with that, be bright in the small things, lean to the light, and I will talk to you later.